Just wanted to ask you about the news that quite a few clubs are now boycotting social media because of the amount of abuse that their players are getting. You think that this is something that Chelsea should be considering doing?
I'm not sure if I have a clear opinion about if we as a club should do it. I think this is not my job to recommend, but we clearly support, and I clearly support any actions against abuse on social media and on a daily matter. There's no question and no doubt about it, but I trust our club to take the measures that are needed, and this is everything I have to say.
I think a few weeks ago, the England manager Gareth Southgate said that he had concerns about players in the dressing room after games, for instance, looking at their phones and seeing all these negative comments about them. Is that something that you, as a manager, have to deal with? Is it a concern of yours that the effect this could be having on your players?
In the end, it becomes a concern because it affects anybody. I think that nobody can not be affected by any comments, even if they're in a newspaper, or if they are in a talk, or if they are on social media. And social media gives people a huge stage to give comments without a name behind it, without a name, without an identity, without an address behind it. So it opens the door to abuse. It opens also the door to positive comments, of course, but you are affected by it. And that's why I try to totally avoid it, because I believe that you cannot not be affected by it. And I think that we underestimate the effect that it has on us, and the time that we spend on social media. And I'm clearly not the biggest fan. I'm not a follower at all. And in the end, it becomes a concern for our society, not only for our players, because it has an influence if we want it or not.
I want to ask you about Crystal Palace. Obviously, Roy Hodgson has had such a long career, and he's probably one of the most respected English coaches around the world. How much do you know about him and the way his teams play?
Well, I met him personally once, and during a meeting here in London some years ago. I met a gentleman, a very experienced coach, who was open enough to share his experience in coaching. And you can see it in his in the way that his teams play. They play calm. They play experienced. They play very, very solid, good organized. And Crystal is a very physical team, and has two key players up front, of which we need to absolutely be aware of and take care about. But it's a pleasure to be at the sideline and with Roy Hodgson on the other side, in the other dugout, and it's a pleasure and means a lot to me. And we will do everything to beat him tomorrow, but we expect a tough away game.
I'm not sure how many English players you worked with before you came to Chelsea. I just wondered what you'd made of the quality of English players in the Premier League since you've been here, especially, for instance, players like Mason Mount and Ben Chilwell.
Well, there I need to talk only about. I can only talk about the players that are in my squad, and I'm very happy with the guys. We have a lot of players from the academy, but also like Chile who came from Leicester, of course, and other players. But it's a pleasure to work with them. I experienced them with excellent work ethic towards training and towards competition and towards games. They absolutely adapted over years to a physical approach of the game. They are very good competitors. They are well educated with a high quality. this is what I experience here. So it's a pleasure to have them in the team, and this is important to have also English players around to not lose the identity, because we play in England in Premier League, and I'm very happy to have them, and I feel them hungry to learn and curious every day. Like I said, they have a good mentality. A lot of them are very young still, and they still have a way to go, but they have the package that it needs to have a long career in this club.
And just a final question from me. I think Tammy Abraham is the leading scorer at the club this season. Now that he's fit, do you think he will get more opportunities to play, especially because he still has hopes of getting in the England squad for the Euros?
Yeah, but so yes and no. No, just for the fact that we have I cannot do my decision based on the personal goals for the players. Kepa has also the personal goal to play for Spain, and this is good that they have these goals, but this can never influence my decisions. I'm the coach for Chelsea. I have to do what's good for us and what I believe is best for us. Tammy had a bit of a rough time because he started, I think, twice or three times and was twice substituted for tactical reasons, for tactical changes at halftime. So he could not have the impact that he demands from him and that we wish from him and that he can clearly give for us. Then he was injured and he lost a bit the connection and the possibility to fight for his place in the squad. The squad played very well without him. We had a lot of results without him, and now suddenly we enter in the decisive part of the season, where it's not so easy to bring players who were injured into the shape or to let them play. We have only 3 changes, which is a big thing, and is a big handicap, because 3 changes mean most of the time that you only have 2 changes, because the last one is one you don't want to lose too early. So circumstances are not easy, but like I always say, this is on Tammy to do everything that it's not possible to let him out. But we have a full squad now. We have 22 players on the training pitch. It's very, very hard to select the 18 players for Premier League matches, and like I said, we can only change 3 times. But in the offensive position, it is always possible to have a huge impact in only some minutes. This is very different, for example, to the situation of Kepa, and nothing has changed. We demand a lot of Tammy, he demands a lot of himself, and he's using every minute to convince us that he needs to be on the pitch, and from there we go on, and every 3 days is a match, so hopefully he stays fit and will play a key role in the end of the season.
James, at Talk Sport. Thomas, it was a tough night for Kai and Timo in Spain on Wednesday night, but will you continue to give them opportunities to get things right and prove how good they are as players? Because I don't think there's any doubting of how good they are.
Look at the games Porto played in Champions League. If you can show me any nice, fluid and pretty game of any opponent of them, we can talk again. I did not find it. They make your life very, very tough. Very, very tough. This is. They went through group stage with 13 points. You can ask in Turin how easy it was to play against them. They make your life hard, and especially for the offensive players. They had not the easiest task up front. They had a big impact defensively. They worked hard for us, both Kai and Timo, but it was difficult to find spaces. It was difficult for them to create something. So we changed after 65 minutes, but we will not lose faith, and we will not lose trust. We can accept that sometimes it's hard to have a big impact. So you have to maybe in both of them, maybe Timo misses a bit like his confidence in his finishing, but Kai, I feel Kyle very self-confident, and no bigger concerns. It was just for this game that we tried to change the momentum up front.
Michy Batshuayi scored for Crystal Palace on Monday, but he's obviously unavailable for this game, and he's one of around 30 players on loan from Chelsea. What do you make of the loan system at the club? Because many of these players are unlikely to play for Chelsea again, if not at all.
Yeah, we cannot have a squad of 50 players obviously next season, so it's not so easy because we have a lot of players on loan who have a lot of quality and have big influence in the clubs where they play. We are not so long in the club that we are still getting to know our team better here, our 22 players. So it's not so easy to have the full picture in detail right now about everybody on loan. Of course, we know everybody, and of course we have a general overview, but it's not into details. And on loan, you always have the trouble in translating the performance into your league if they go abroad, or into your club if they play for another club like Crystal Palace. Would it be the same impact here? Is it you see sometimes performances because a player plays very regularly and has his 90 minutes all the time. Can he give the same impact if he's coming from the bench? So this translation is very, very difficult to make, and I would always prefer to see everybody and to meet everybody personally in a pre-season. Let's see how this works out, and at the same time I respect the policy of the club. I can totally understand that the club has the last word in what we do and what can happen with the players. I'm not totally aware of every contractual situation, but I'm very relaxed about it. We know that we have strong players out there, and yeah, let's see if the market gets complicated in summer. We have a big pool of players to pick from.
And just finally from me, Thomas, Roy Hodgson is 73 years old and still going strong as a Premier League manager. Do you think that you'll still be in football management when you enter your 70s?
I don't know. I will not say no. I mean, if right now I just feel it again and again that this is a big part of my personality to be in football and to work in football and to be on the pitch and to be around, to be part of a staff and be part of a team. If it stays like this, I think it's not a matter of age. It's a matter of energy. It's a matter of how much energy you can still give, how much energy it gives you. So if you are fit, it's not a matter of age. Like I said, I'm proud to be at the sideline with him. He's a big personality, a great character, very, very absolute gentleman when I first met him. Very, very kind and respectful, and has a big career. So it's a big challenge to be at the sideline with him, and can only repeat, it's not a matter of age, it's a matter of energy and quality.
Okay, I've got time for two more. Chris at PLP and then Nizar to finish. Chris.
Thomas, good afternoon. Just a couple from me. First of all, what has the last week taught you about your players that maybe you didn't know already? I think of the West Brom performance that you didn't see coming, and then the way you came back in the second half, maybe against Porto in midweek. Did you learn about your squad more in the last week?
Yeah, of course, because we learn. It's my job to learn every day and to learn from every game, especially, and from every situation that we have to face. I don't have the big conclusion after the two games and the up and down, the down and up we had in terms of results. But of course, it's important to share experiences, and this is important for me to make my experiences with the team, and to share them. So it was the first time that we lost, and was a big loss and an unexpected loss in a kind of a weird game. And so we had a lot of positive results and experiences together, and it was important for us to adapt to this situation and to react on it. And I could feel the reaction, even though it was not like obvious, like the best match that we ever made together. Of course not, but maybe it's also not possible given the circumstances of of a quarter final in Champions League, and accepting the difficulty that Porto can cause to any team in Europe. But I felt the reaction clearly after the game. I felt the reaction in training before the game, and I could feel that we want to have immediate bounce back. And I'm very happy that we could make it happen, that we could escape again with a clean sheet. We were a bit lucky in some situations in the game, but that was also necessary. And like I said, it's also important for us now that we went through this and hopefully can start a winning streak again.
And given how close the race for the top four in the Premier League is, and the pressure is on now at this time of the season, what characteristics will the teams who want to finish in the top four have to have between now and the end of the season?
I think it's for us very important that we are fully focused on every challenge that we have, that we forget the games and results we had, and go and accept every new challenge and embrace every new challenge, and from the start. It will not gives us no advantage that we have a 2-0 lead now against Porto when we play against Crystal Palace, and to start over and over again in the end of the season. This is the challenge, and to be fully focused, but this can give you a huge boost also in self-confidence, because you don't have to. Tomorrow is not the day to fulfill all our obstacles and to reach all our all our goals. Tomorrow is only 90 minutes, so you just have to focus for 90 minutes. We don't have to think about Tuesday and then about the fixture against Manchester City. The same thing. We do it step by step, and we can rely that we are fully fit. We have full fitness. We arrive without big injuries, and hopefully it stays like this. And this should give us self-confidence, and the fact that we are able to defend as a team, and that we can always rely on a solidarity and a strong bond on the pitch, and the hard defensive work. Hopefully gives us a big amount of self-confidence to go through all these steps, even when difficulties arrive. And of course, there are teams waiting for us who play a little bit less, like West Brom during the international break. They had the chance to prepare better than we have had. Like Crystal Palace, maybe they had some hours more sleep than we had in the last days. But we need to accept it and rely on ourselves. But this is the main target is to find a good balance between recovery, between training, and then to be focused on point and to take it step by step.
Last question, Nizar.
Hi, Thomas.
Hi.
You said a little bit after the last game, you mentioned that Pulisic is coming into a good moment, Christian. And you know, last season he scored 7 goals in 11 for Chelsea. He's in really good form, scoring goals and stuff like that. Do you think he can replicate that form for you? And how much is his fitness important in you know, helping him replicate that?
I think for Christian, fitness is always important, because, and especially for Christian, because he has this huge physical impact for us in amount of sprints and amount of intensity that he can give to a team on highest level. This is one of his biggest strengths, and the other thing is that he needs to feel confident, and he needs to feel calm mentally, and then he can be a huge weapon for us. He scored in the last game against West Brom. Unfortunately, the overall game and his need to go off the pitch at half time clouded the goal and the impact that he could have had with that goal. But now again, he was very close to score. He had a huge impact from the bench, and we have to take care about him, that he hopefully will not be re-injured, because I feel him stronger and stronger. I feel him more and more self-confident, and can be a decisive factor in the next game, with his speed, with his ability to dribble, and with his ability to arrive in the box in dangerous situations, and from balls from the side and crosses. He has normally the feeling arrive and to score. So hopefully he can have that impact, and it's our job to push him there and to calm his mind, that he feels the trust and he feels confident.
Okay, that's the end of the TV section. We're now to a dailies. If you'd like a question,